But sometimes I just can't help it. Just going along living my life. Just going along being nobody's fool and nobody's wife. When I have to remind myself that I prefer this pretty petty strife, 'cause I won't settle. And I missed that boat when it came in, but I won't settle. I just remember him. Back on a night when I was working at the inn, and everyone, they stopped their din when he strode in and said, "Good even." And all the men, they bid him welcome, and all the ladies' cheeks grew hot. I wish now that I'd been leaving, but the fire cracked and I stirred the pot, and I gave to him when I was bidden by those merry dark eyes of a stranger. The tall man, he was bound inland from the north. It's a true story now. Oh, I can hear him now. The words he spoke were few, but choice and true. Bits of honey, rye, and rue, and hidden riddles there to test you. I failed and fell in love with who? The green eyes of the wise man from the north. Well, he played the room, his game, his lute, with the ease of making love. And his words, they came inside me like the filling of a glove. And I cursed every verse I heard, knowing I'd never be enough in the steel eyes of the tall man from the north. And his smile spoke of secrets he'd not bothered to explain, of places I could never go, nor ever hope to have been. And the lines around his eyes, they knew things I'd never know, and I could only dream what those black eyes, those ever-ready coals had seen, and they saw right through me. I burned up cold unclean for the free man, the tall one, who hailed from the north. And his voice pulled at my heart like the wind pulls out the rose, and I wilted in his presence like a blade of grass bent low. Beneath the heat of summer I shamed myself so, joining the fools' legions, lining up with other women in the blue eyes of the tall man from the north. His body was a sound vessel that could sail the world round like a stream, like a tale. On long fingers I was wound and bound effortlessly, found broken in the ash eyes of the tall man from the north. Well, he broke my lily will like brushing down old spider silk, and I crumbled right along with my gown, wanting for his ilk, and I held up my head in vain, for I drowned and went insane. Inside his wake I tumbled over, lost my wits, my head, my sick. My worth and all I held he did take in stride, like little bits of nothing swallowed by the tide, like tiny holes in the sand when filled once and left again, to understand how empty and small and shallow they are. If only I could hide from myself, believe old lies uncovered by the man with storms in his head and stars in his eyes. Oh, Where I lost my place, stars in his eyes, a tall man he was, rained down from his kingdom, bound inland from the north those years ago. Well, gods will have their sacrifice, so the lion eats the lamb. Great men will bleed themselves with leeches, so I've come to understand. I knew enough to know back then that he would break my little dam, a pauper notwithstanding the splendor of the man, the tall one with a song to sing and power in his hand, eyes that haunt me, a man to taunt me, bound inland, oh how tall he was, traveling from the north. Sometimes I dream of running down the road where his path ran, a chance to meet his gaze and greet him like a friend, not like a dog greeting a god, just sniffing at his hand, a pat on the head and scraps from the can, lapping up lust and drinking in the dust of his caravan. Oh, how can he be just a man with those endless eyes from everywhere, and the silence that we shared? If the north wind blew to me, it rings a deafened tenor in my memory. No room for other songs, just one I'll ever be. And so I choose to be alone, this gnawing in my breast, unsatisfied, quite hungry. An ache eats at my chest, and the pain it keeps me ready, on guard from regress. And though I'm good, I knew that he would only keep the best. I wonder on what fair lady those golden eyes do rest, a bold one, pure and sharp, who puts him to the test, and never faltered neath his gaze, and matches all his ways. I wonder what he prays to her, that man, that tall stranger, whom I served when I was bidden, unhidden, ungiven for him on his travels from the north those years ago. Those years ago, ho, 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 I used to please folks more when I was a younger woman. I wish you knew me then. I used to laugh more often. I used to laugh more often. But I'm just trying to rely on myself, just getting by, just as we all are, getting closer to the coffin. And though I try not to, I remember my last wish and blossom, taken and tossed in awesome passing by the tall man. Oh, he was from everywhere, with endless eyes, dust in his hair. I'm still sitting here. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. I have to remind myself. That's how it should be.